Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Kaba Ilco number 7185 YA1 in a 26D finish. This is a mortise cylinder from Kaba Ilco, and the part number really tells us everything about it, and we can dissect that part number now. 7185 is going to mean that this is an 1.1 inch long mortise cylinder, and mortise cylinders are measured from the underside of the head to the back of the cam. And you can see where that 1.1 inch comes in. The YA is a reference to the keyway. This is a Yale 8, also known as a 999 keyway. A couple of factory original look-alike keys. And being a solid brass piece of hardware, you'll get exceptionally smooth operation out of Kaba Ilco cylinders that are made of solid brass. Not all of them are, but most are. The 1 is a reference to the cam. This is an 863G cam, but it's a number 1 when it is ordered in line with the cylinder. You can change that 1 to different numbers, and then you will get different cams, but the 1 is a standard cam. For instance, if you wanted to see the other cams available, you could type in into our site the cam number 863G and just search for that, and then find the Kaba Ilco cam, and there'll be other items that match that criteria, because 863G is a relatively common sort of search criteria. Once you find the Kaba Ilco item, you can click on that and view the cam, but the point being is down below there's a table of all of the different cams that are available from Kaba Ilco. So when you change the 1 to a 2, you'll get an Adams Right cam. Very common, but you also might bump into the need for a, well, you might want to run a Yale 8 into a Schlage L-Series mortise lock, and if you change that 1 to a 15, you'll get a Schlage beaver tail type cam is what you could do. So that's the point of that. The next part of the part number is, of course, the finish. 26D is satin chrome, and that's what that looks like. Other finishes are certainly available. Your brass, your bronze, satin polished, oil rubbed bronze. Okay. Then anything after that partner generally refers to the way that they're keyed. We likely stock them, if anything, in KA2. In KA2 in the part number simply means that when you buy these, if you buy 2, they'll be keyed alike. Or if you buy them in multiples of 2, you'll get groups of 2 keyed alike. That may or may not help, but we do it that way because having 2 keyed alike on the shelf is better than having them all keyed differently, is the way that we have concluded that. We can do keying that you need on any of these cylinders, any which way that you like. We can master key them, grandmaster key them, cut keys, etc. Reach out to us and we'll help you with that. Now, where would you use such a mortise cylinder? Well, 1.1 inch. This particular cylinder is probably being used in an old cast iron mortise lock, a mortise lock that might date to the 1930s. Why do I think that? Well, this Yale 999 is an old keyway, plus the length, 1.1 inch, is compatible with those locks, plus that standard cam. Now, if someone was requesting this with an Adams Right cam, I would think it would be an aluminum storefront type door. Or if it was maybe 1.25 inch, I might be thinking it would be an alarm bypass, which 1.1 inch can probably work as well. It's a little bit too long for an aluminum door, potentially too short for key switch bypasses and other unusually thick doors. But 1.1 inch could be a mortise lock, probably is a mortise lock. The fact that you've got an old, not old, but let's call it a keyway that has been around for several decades, along with the cam, tells me it's probably an older type mortise lock. Okay. Now, you can order this in lots of different lengths, everything from really short to super long. Well, let's define that. 15/16 would be short. Kaba Ilco can do shorter cylinders, but not in a YA keyway. They can do 15/16, 1 inch, 1.1 inch, 1/4. certainly 1.5 inch, possibly 1 3/8. They can do longer customs as well. They can give you this with, as we discussed earlier, all the different cam possibilities, and then of course probably 24 different keyways as well. And in fact, Kaba Ilco can make this cylinder available to you in a rim type cylinder as well, in the same finish and the same keyway. Kaba Ilco, the name is quite synonymous with all things key management, hardware related, and they primarily, as I'd mentioned earlier, manufacture the material of solid brass. And the advantage of solid brass is during the manufacturing process, they can achieve very tight tolerances between the cylinder plug, the pins, the cylinder housing, giving you an incredibly smooth operating type lock that you can expect decades of faithful service out of. And when you do compare a solid brass cylinder from Kaba Ilco against others, incorporate the base material advantages and then the cost, Kaba Ilco, frankly, should be the only cylinder manufacturer considered for lots of typical scenarios. High security or unusual keyways, maybe very strange lock applications where you just can't get the right cam, that could be necessary as well. But dollar for dollar, for most instances and applications, Kaba Ilco is going to be a fantastic option for you. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can review not only all of the Kaba Ilco products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's several and many catalogs. First of all, this will be in the brass cylinder catalog, so you can review this and all of their other items in that catalog. And I'm a fan of that catalog because it will, and I suggest if you have more than an occasional need for any sort of cylinder hardware, that you familiarize yourself with it, because what you'll end up realizing is that Kaba Ilco likely has items that will be quite beneficial to you. Did you know that they made a very elegant series of low-profile deadbolts? And did you know that you can get those in a 2-inch back set? That is possibly a unique claim to fame. And as you get further into the catalog, did you know they have a outrageously comprehensive offering of cam locks? Most people don't know that. Anyway, the point taken is diversity of product offering. Then also you'll find on that catalog a indispensable resource, their key blank catalog. You might have a key blank and you say to yourself, well, I need to identify this. Generally, and if you know it's a Yale, you can get right to that section. And while perhaps you can't always determine without complete elimination of guesswork, you can most certainly usually eliminate what it is not. Because when you're looking at the catalog, they'll have a milling profile. And while it's not looking at the tip of the key towards the head of the key, it's as if you're looking down into the cylinder. So if you're looking at a key this way, you have to, in your mind's eye, reverse that and think of the symmetrically opposite profile, because that's what you'll see in the book. So that catalog is really helpful to help determine what you have, or at least what you don't have. Then finally, there is a link to their relatively new line of hardware, their aluminum storefront hardware, locks, paddles, things of that nature. A relatively fresh look on aluminum storefront hardware from Kaba Ilco. If you have any questions on the Kaba Ilco, this is their part number 7185, YA1-26D, mortise cylinder, or any other Kaba Ilco product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.